Right, good morning everyone. Welcome to McBoss Capital live stream. My name is Michael Chu. Today is Monday, November 3rd, 2025, first day of November here. Market is kind of mixed. We have Nasdaq up 0.4%, Dow is down 0.8%, S&P is down 0.2%, Nasdaq volume is lower, and NYSE is volume higher. So again, not a good picture at this moment because we have higher volume NYSE, and that could mean a distribution day for Dow and S&P if we close here because they're negative and they're down on higher volume, right? And then Nasdaq is actually up on lower volume. So both of them are not looking good at this moment. Looking at stocks on the move, we did have the 20 stocks this morning. Um, so there's growth stocks moving, but again, it's we talk about this on the weekend videos. The market breadth has been deteriorating, and that is a concern for the general market, I think. So let me just quickly look at a couple of stocks here that I haven't put on my list. MOD here. Let me see if it's even on my list. So generally, what I look for is like higher than 10% forward quarter earnings, which it does here. So that looks really good, and then sales look really good as well. So now I would go to the daily chart. On the weekly chart, you can see it didn't do much lately, and earnings news, it kind of came down, and it hasn't really moved back up. And I draw a trend line here, and so yeah, today's move is very minimal and not really a breakout kind of movement. So I would mark that as normal kind of action. Nothing really happening there. And then the other one that I haven't. So this kind of give you a perspective of how I look at stocks very quickly. This is like um, just a quick way of looking at stocks. Let's look at PHC. This one is reporting in 2 days here, and um, yeah, looks pretty good. Forward guidance. Again, we report in 2 days, so there's a risk here. Now sales is going down though. But it is on the weekly chart. It looks pretty good because it bounced back, right? So you can see on my markup here, I've tried a couple of times and they both got shaken out. And today is a nice reversal, so that's the good thing. Yeah. So that is kind of you know tradable, but again, closer to earnings, there's always higher risk, right? So something to be aware of. Let's keep going here. TME, this is Chinese Tencent, SSG, Palantir. Palantir is looking very sharp right now. Look at this trend here. This is the 10-day, and then look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue days, and then one down day, and then now two up days again. So like really strong, and relative strength just going straight up. This is very strong stock right now. Let's look at Nvidia. This one also pretty strong 10-day moving average here. So it went up really strong for like 3, 4, 5 days. Then it dropped for 2 days. And notice those 2 days it hold the low pretty well. And then today we have a bounce. So again, very strong. Look at the relative strength, right? But these two stocks are showing tremendous strength right now. With PetSmart, let me just quickly check here. Yeah, look at that one. No, not yet. Let me show you again. Let's see what the earnings look like. So this one reported, okay, it went down on Friday, not a good sign. And then if you look at the forward guidance, it looks pretty good. Most stocks on the move usually on IBD have good earnings. I'm not sure what the criteria is. So 121 to 141 and so forth, and it's pretty good earnings. Sales also not bad, but again, didn't have a really good reaction. Um, but today is bouncing back. But the problem is it is below the 10-day moving average right there. So I would draw a trend line and then set alert point when it comes back above the 10-day, and then if it come back above decisively, usually I will consider it. So that's something that we'll mark here. Again, it is below the 10-day moving average, so not really buyable for me at this point. I don't usually buy on weakness, so I usually buy on strength. Let's keep going here. With ALAB, again, this one doesn't satisfy my criteria, fundamental criteria, APTV. Take a look at that one. And this one is, again, below the 10-day trend line. It just reported last week as well. And there's a negative quarter here, so that automatically kind of qualify for my list. So this is in the auto truck. The auto truck area has been strong, but this one didn't move lately. Um, so again, I would mark that down. The orange color is usually where it doesn't satisfy my fundamental criteria. Let's keep going here. INDV, this is very strong right now in the health sector, but it doesn't qualify my fundamental. So all gold, aura mineral. This is a gold. Gold is just sitting at the 10-day moving average and not doing much right now. Um, the bounce has been really weak in my opinion. So yeah, I would be very cautious. But you never know. Maybe it could always bounce back all of a sudden. Sterling. Looking at my list here, it is reporting. So so that's a risk there. BE. Again, this doesn't satisfy my criteria, but holding up really strong. RYAY. This one also I believe is yeah, not satisfy my criteria. Same thing with ATAT. TTMI. Okay, let's take a look at that. This is electrical contract manufacturing. This has a nice, a little bit volatile on the earnings day, but look at this reversal, and then look at now it followed through 2 days now. So so I do have a position in this. So it's looking really good right now. Very short. Okay. Roku. Yeah, Roku has been doing well lately too. Right? Let's take a look at that one. So this one report earnings. Big move. Came back down halfway point. Today it's able to hold. So that's really good sign. Yeah, that looks really good. Amazon. It's been strong. It doesn't satisfy my fundamentals, but it has been strong since the earnings day. Breakout followed through today. Very strong. AMG. This is a less liquid stock, only 200,000 shares traded in the financial investment management area. But a nice breakout this morning after earnings reported. So that's the good thing. But like I said, it's very thinly traded though. IDXX. So this one also reported this morning. Strong breakout. A little bit weak on the earnings side. So yeah, so this one is not on my list, but yeah, it looks really good. Let me see what else is worth mentioning here. Let's see, Google. Google is holding really strong. This was a nice run right here. and it's just holding way above the 10-day. Um, yeah, it's holding strong. It's another strong stock. Light make a new bounce pretty high this morning, but give back a lot of gains. But it's overall is still holding really tight around the just slightly below the 200 area, 199. MU, this one is just very strong stock. Look at this bounce again today. It just doesn't want to give up. Again, never touch the 10-day here. Very strong move. Next we have Cloudflare Net. This one has a huge bounce off the earnings. Again, another nice breakout. The one thing that I noticed, I talked about this last week too, is there are lots of stocks breaking out, um, but the market breadth is very narrow, right? So meaning, you know, you have to be very selective and be lucky because a lot of it break out on the earnings. So unless you're willing to take the risk before earnings or you got in earlier. So in this case, I got in earlier, right there, and yeah, I got lucky on this one, and it moved up really strong right now. Today, make a new high and pull back. So, but nothing, that's not nothing bad there, but it still looks really good. Next, we have Team. Also reported nice bounce on Thursday, Friday. Sorry, that was Friday. A nice bounce on Friday, and then Monday it went up higher, but it pulled back. So a lot of stocks pulling back this morning, um, as the market pulls back too. So, but still looks good. And with TSM here, just trading sideways. Um, Nothing negative. It's just a little bit. Yeah, it kind of fell on Friday, but today bouncing back. So again, not moving much at this moment. Yeah, so that's the tags. We talk about Roku, industrial. We talk about TTMI, HWM. Continue to make new high. Again, this stock doesn't move fast, but it does have a very good momentum once it goes, and it's very stable. So it's an easy stock to hold. Um, we talk about PHC. We talk about AMG. Yeah, not too many growth stocks moving this morning. A lot of them are in text early in the day, but like I said, some of them have given back. Let's take a final look at the index here. Here's QQQ. We're bouncing back slowly after Thursday's drop from last week, which was so here we go. Friday, um, still up 0.3%, trading very tightly above the 10-day, so that's a good sign. And this morning, like I said, we're giving up a lot of gains. It's testing. We test the intraday low for sure. Now we have another low here, and we'll see if we can hold that low today. It's trying to hold right now. As you can see here, and the bottom and the near the lows here, it's trying to fight back. Let's jump to SPY. Very similar action. It's trying to bounce back as well. And this one also close to 10-day, holding strong. So this is a very key moment right here. This last, both Nasdaq and S&P have been holding near the 10-day. So yeah. So we'll see, right? If it breaks the 10-day, then we have bigger problems to deal with. Because then we can have more volatility like right here. Once it breaks the 10-day usually. But let's see. Then we have Dow. Dow looks a little bit weaker, minus 0.4%, but also bounced off the 10-day this morning. Um, so again, we'll see if this bounce can work today. Um, yeah, generally Monday morning gap ups are not the best. Last Monday we it worked because it just keep closing high, but then throughout the rest of the week it kind of came back, right? But then today it's kind of, we went up in the morning, but we very quickly gave back, and now we're bouncing back. So because it's so early in the day, actually it's not a bad thing because now we have a whole day to recover, right? So but we'll see if that is truly the case because it's too early to tell. Right now the bounce is pretty strong, so that's a good sign. And then we have IWM, very similar chart, just falls at after the open, and then we found support here. So this one is, a lot closer to the 50-day than any other index, but this index has always been more volatile. So here's another time we're coming down. So again, the bounce is very welcoming so far this morning. Um, so we'll see if we can hold here. But again, the breadth has been weakening. Let me look at RSP. So here you go. We've been like testing the lows many times here, and now we're testing another low here. This is that's the only thing I don't like about the market, right? The breadth is just very bad, and usually when you lack breadth, market just can't push higher eventually, right? And then they will start to fall apart. So this is a very caution flag right now, I would say, especially now this red line, right, has come up, but yet it's now much further below the red line than before. So that's why this starting to look like not as good because the current index is actually way, and you can see that right here. Right, look at this relative strength line. It's already been poor, but now it's starting to really like look even a lot worse, right? So that's the big caution sign. QQEW on the Nasdaq. This one looks a lot better, but still, this one just again kind of at a new low this morning. Um, so compared to last week was 1433, and well, it did hit a 14322, but now it bounced back a little bit. So again, this is also a little bit worrisome because this could also fall all the way to the red line here. So thank you all for watching. Have yourself a good trading day, and for sure a lot more growth stocks will be reporting. So that will make also determine how the market move as well. So thank you all for watching. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe.